name's Kevin Sidebottom. I'm a speaker, author, and trainer on the Sales Process Uncovered. I go around the country and actually train people and their sales teams on how to sell faster with more efficiency and do this well with a common language. Today's video, I want to talk to you about what to do when you want to increase sales. That's right. What do you want to do to increase sales? Well, here's a little background of what we're going to talk about. We're going to answer the 5 buying decisions that the customer has. We're going to understand what you need to actually input into your system to be doing this, whether it's retail or when it's big business to business deals, on how to be successful. Okay, we're going to answer those things. So if you want to increase sales, this is your video. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to do when we want to increase sales is answer the 5 buying decisions customers have. The easiest way to do that is to install a process. Yep, that's right. You're sitting back going, great, I got to install another process. Now hear me out why we need to do this. We need to actually install a process because it's going to help us become more efficient. It's going to have our sales team hitting sales numbers. And you need to do this. And here's a reason why. Let me give you a story. So Navy SEALs, who are the most effective operators in our military in the U.S., the reason why they're more successful isn't because they're all Harvard graduates. I know quite a few of them, and they're not. But they'll tell you they follow a process. They train, they practice, they review. They train, they practice, they review. They train, they practice, they review. They follow a process, and it helps them get more efficient. So when it's time to hit the trails and go do the mission, they're successful. That's why we need a process. So let's get into the 5 buying decisions. Buying decision number 1 is the salesperson. That's right. If we're going to make sales, the people have to know, like, and trust our sales staff. And they're asking themselves these 3 questions that we have to answer. And if we don't, well, then they're going to go down the road to somebody else and buy a similar product and service that meets their needs. But we have to be able to build rapport and understand what the customer's needs are, their timelines, their situations. That's why a sales process actually helps. It puts structure to this. Because nobody flying by the seat of their pants has ever been successful. But the people that actually put a process in and follow it actually become more efficient and faster and increase in their sales. So we definitely want to make sure that we're doing that if we're going to increase our sales. So we need to answer the first buying decision, the salesperson. We need to build rapport, which is not going around and telling people, hey, that little picture over there, I've got something similar. That's what a lot of sales trainers will actually tell you to do to build rapport. Doesn't work. People see through that. Rapport is actually valuing people and actually getting in depth with them and learning about them. Constantly trying to learn about the customer. Now, I get it when you're selling a pair of jeans compared to a multi-million-dollar project. It's a little different, but you still have to be focused on building good, solid rapport. And if we do that, we'll be allowed to move on to the next buying decision. So we need to make sure that our sales process actually supports this. And there's quite a bit of work that goes into this part of the sales process. It's like building a house. You have to have a solid foundation, otherwise the house is going to fall apart. So we need to make sure that we're building our foundation. And the first buying decision actually does that. Now the second buying decision is actually the organization. That's right. It's not the product. If we're going to buy something from someone, we want to make sure that it's going to be backed up by a warranty or service. They don't care about just the cheapest price. They want to make sure that it's a good product that's not going to just crap out. They want to have a know that somebody is going to support them if they have issues. That's why the organization is so important and we need to sell. Because if we don't support them, they're not buying anything else from us. If they don't like us, they're not buying anything from us. So we need to make sure we're selling those things before we sell the product. Now, if we do that well and structure our sales process correctly, we actually get to the third buying decision, which is, yes, the product. Well, here's the deal. We don't sell features and benefits for the product. we answer needs. And I go through this in my sales trainings on how to build a process for you so that way you're answering all these needs. And this is the time where you bring in the whole sales team and actually get them into a room and strategize. What needs do we answer? Which features and benefits answer those needs? And really start getting a lot of collaboration. That way everybody has the same common language. So when they move forward. So again, we don't answer features and benefits, we answer needs. And if we do that well, we move on to the fourth buying decision, which is price. If we get to that fourth buying decision, which is price, well, guess what happens? This is where we find out how well we did. By having a good, solid sales process, we're actually going to be able to double back if we missed something. And that's a good thing to have, because if you just winging it, a lot of times you just fall off and go, it's over, and give up. The only failure that happens is when we give up. So we want to go back through the sales process and make sure we answer those right questions. And if we do so, we'll be rewarded. But again, if we don't, they're going to have an objection to the price. So we need to make sure that we have our sales process set up correctly. Now, if they agree to the price, they move into the fifth buying decision, which is time to buy. Now, if we've actually gone through and learned about their timeline at the very beginning of the sales process, we'll know when to expect the time to buy. A lot of times sales organizations will come in and the sales guy goes, I got a hot lead, we're ready to go. And all of a sudden, the purchase order doesn't come through. And the salesperson's asked, well, when's it coming? Did you get an LOI, letter of intent? No. Well, because you didn't know what their timeline was, well, it's going to delay things. But when we do know what their timeline was and we get to that step where it's time to buy, we can negotiate with LOIs. So if we do that, they buy from us. Now here's the real part of our sales process. We need to make sure that they're successful. And if they're not successful, guess what happens? They don't buy from us again. That's right. If they're not a success with the product and then they have a little bit of a time period of when they can be successful and engaged, if they're not successful, guess what they're not doing? They're not buying from us again. They're going to go somewhere else and move down the road for their next purchase. If they're investing a large amount of money with us, it behooves us to make sure that they're successful. Because if we can build them into a partner because we've been so successful and they've been successful, well, now they'll buy more from us and they'll tell their friends to buy from us, which increases our sales. How about that? So let's make sure we have a sales process that's solid, that answers those 5 buying decisions. And if we do so, we'll increase our sales. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to reach me by the links below. I've got all these videos. I do weekly blogs and I'm here to help you. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. It helps more people see this, get advanced training, and help them. That's what I'm here for. All right? We'll see you next time.